Along with all that they have in common, infants also show unique individual traits. Some are more active than others, some are more sociable, and some are more interested in the world around them. Infants earlier on show consistent differences in friendliness and anxiety level, which form part of their early character. Our central aim is to enable you to develop knowledge and attitudes and skills that are conducive to constructive involvement, cooperation and teamwork with others and will serve you well in future endeavors. To succeed, the process demands all of us a serious exercise in civic responsibility. Since our graduate admission school is not centralized, each of the university's 6 schools and colleges admits students to its own programs. For information about specific program degrees, graduate applications, graduate admission requirements and procedures, graduate scholarships, and status of your application, visit the individual school websites. Many individuals have unwittingly contributed to this book through sharing ideas with us as Collocations, students, practitioners, tourists, and residents of destination areas. They are too numerous to thank individually. And indeed, it is not possible to isolate exactly their specific contributions. Changes in climate affect, for example, the plant and animal life of a given area. The presence of cold beds in North America and Europe along with evidence of glaciation in these same areas indicates that they must have experienced alternately warmer and colder climates than they now possess. This report includes a huge swath of macroeconomics, such as the effects of tax reform, a new industrial policy, and understanding how to deal with the uncertainty inherent in global financial market. But it also covers key areas of microeconomic policies, such as boosting laggardly rates of productivity.
The findings of modern research support the view that the evolution of primitive men and its culture should be regarded as unity. Yet this unity is exceedingly complex, and future research will doubtless enable us to make finer distinctions between the periods that people composed it. Tissues are grouped together in the body to form organs. These include the brain, heart, lungs, kidneys, and liver. Each body organ has a specific shape and is made up of different types of tissue that work together. For example, the heart consists mainly of a specialized type of muscle tissue, which contracts rhythmically to provide the heart's pumping action. Finally, the experimenters examined real insects to see if leg adhesion might also play a role in the walking coordination of real flies. They put polymer drops on the flies' legs to cover their claws and adhesive pads, as if the flies were wearing boots, and watched what happened. The flies quickly began to use bipod-like leg coordination similar to the one discovered in the simulation. Modern science says, the sun is the past, the earth is the present, the moon is the future. From an incandescent mass we have originated, and into a frozen mass we shall turn. Merciless is the law of nature, and rapidly and irresistibly we are drawn to our doom. Each summer, thousands of confused students in the USA ensure post-degree future. For many of them, the toughest challenge revolves around the so-called advanced placement. In theory, even completing their degree was a challenging task. The editors of the program inevitably focus on moments they think will engage the audience. After all, that's their brief. They're in the business of audience ratings, and their inclination is to concentrate on moments of conflict and drama. For me, this is exploitation, because I'm sure that some of the disruption is occurring solely for the benefit of the project. You are the student representative at the University Union. The union has been asked to get the views of other students at the college on the current university course structure. You have been asked to write the report for the dean, outlining the benefits and drawbacks of proposed changes. Make sure to add the remarks from the faculty members as well while completing your report. Flight simulator machines are used in the training of airline pilots. Members of the public can now sample the experience simply by the use of virtual reality. Although you never leave the ground, while sitting in the simulator cockpit, the artificial intelligence makes it feel realistic. Your logical mind keeps telling you that it's not for real, but something deep in your subconscious mind responds to the sensory environment. The exhibition is devoted to bridges of different types and illustrates the significance of these structures. It brilliantly captures the vitality of the river as an urban artery. The inclusion of a mixture of both familiar and less familiar bridges helps to hold your interest as you make your way round. But anyone hoping to come away with a logical history of the bridges from an architectural perspective will be disappointed. It has long been possible to modify the appearance of the precious metals such as gold by adding a layer of another material, such as alloy. For example, variation is made, what is known as rose gold, by adding copper. The nanotechnology department at Monash University has discovered the way to produce gold and silver simply by making microscopic alternations in the surface that affect the way the material reflects light. There is an uncertainty in using petroleum as a future resource, despite focusing on the major benefit of a very advanced infrastructure already in place. The drawbacks from the perspective of the environment are patently obvious: harm to public health by emissions in exhaust fumes. Carbon emissions are linked to respiratory problems, and cost precious ecosystems from oil spills and seepage. Multitasking is a precious and welcome skill by many, not according to a recent study done at the University of New Zealand. It claims that employees are spending a considerable amount of time in futile efforts as they multitask. It also argues that they could be just better off switching between the various tasks. This was the most awarded case study that will improve workplace efficiency. Culture is a term for which it is very difficult to give a precise meaning. The word means so many different things to different people, so devising a single acceptable definition is more problematic than maybe first thought. The idea of culture as something shared is inherently complex. A few geothermal power plants depend on dry steam reservoirs, which produce steam but a little or no water. In these cases, the steam is piped up directly to provide the power to spin the turbine generator. The first geothermal power plant, constructed at Iceland, was of this type, and is still producing electricity today.